Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm going to do a series of videos on Bitcoin. And before I start, I would like to get some things out of the way. I have a bird that you can hear in the background, and I'm not going to do anything to silence him. When he gets excited, he talks, and if it bothers you, then you should probably um, stop the video and go watch something else. Um, I find his presence pleasurable, and so he will remain. I'm also not going to go out and buy special recording equipment um, to do these videos. Um, I don't feel that I need to. I do these videos for free, and those who want to listen to them and want the information can, and those who don't let the door hit you in the butt on the way out. Okay, so a little bit about myself. Um, In 2001, I started a company called Cybernetics Educational Services. The purpose of the company, it was a nonprofit company, and the whole purpose of the company was to get, because I believed that if people knew about scams, they would be less likely to get scammed. After a couple of years, I found that that was not true. I found that people that were participating in scams and losing their money and whining about it were knowingly participating in scams. They were just upset when they lost. And that there were tons of people who are essentially just gamblers, and they don't like you talking bad about their scams. And it was really just a waste of time. I mean, I could lay out exactly how a scam was a scam, and people didn't care. They just figured I'll get in and get out and make some money, you know. So I didn't waste my time on it anymore. But I have been watching scams even before that and up until today, and probably will continue to do so. So also, I own another company, started another company with the purpose of changing the world. We are the first mobile affiliate program. If you don't know what an affiliate program is, that's a company that pays you for free to promote other businesses, to advertise. And while there have been affiliate programs on the internet for as long as the internet has been around, that's how these companies, long before AdWords and online advertising, there were affiliate programs where professional people spent their time advertising other people's businesses, and that's how advertising started, and it's still, very big today. And millions of people make their living doing that. It doesn't cost anything to do it. But is ours is unique because we're the only mobile affiliate program. In fact, the word affiliate means something totally different in mobile because nobody would touch mobile affiliate program because there was no way to track it until us. But what makes the businesses in our affiliate program different is they all have a different um, philosophy, and that is they all make money the same way that Google and Facebook and all social media makes their money, but they have one unique difference, and that is while in the aforementioned companies, billions of people do tons of work and a handful of people reap all of the financial rewards. In these companies, that situation is reversed, and the people who are responsible for um, the revenue are compensated for it. And it's also unique in that they have at least 7 programs, sometimes 7 levels, sometimes 8, where a typical affiliate program only pays on 2 levels. So it's 100% free, and we believe, the companies that participate, believe that we can change the world through this. Google and Facebook alone make over $100 billion a year in advertising. if they gave that money back to the people who were making it for them, it would cause a huge change in the world. However, they do not. And these companies are not like normal people. They don't pay taxes like normal people, and they don't, do good in the world with the income. So to have such a large amount of money going to those types of people is not a good thing. We believe that it's better to put the money back in the hands of people. So that's what we do. And if you would like more information on that, I'll put a link in the description. So now we will continue. So if you are interested in knowing more about this now, if you're one of those Bitcoin cryptocurrency fans, you're probably not going to like the series of videos that I'm doing, but scammers and fools never have. And as long as I've been doing this, scammers and fools never have liked my recordings and my videos, and I don't do them for them. So I really don't care. So again, don't let the door hit you on the butt on the way out. So I'm going to do a series of these videos, and I'm going to go through all the different aspects of Bitcoin, and this applies to all cryptocurrency. And because while people say this cryptocurrency is different, and this cryptocurrency is different, and this cryptocurrency is different, the core elements of cryptocurrency are all the same. And most people have no idea how they work. So we're going to discuss that. So in this first, so I suggest, if you would, like to get this information, that you subscribe to this channel. Also, if you think I'm wrong, subscribe to the channel so that you can see that I was right in the future. And that's really the reason I'm putting this video online, because I've made a lot of huge predictions in the past, and people who know me know that they came true. But I want a public place to be able to point to say, see, I told you this was going to happen, because it helps in my business. It helps for people to see when I say this can happen, that they know that I know what I'm talking about, that I'm an expert in this field, in the field of the internet. So when I make predictions, and I can go back and point to them in the past by putting them on a public platform like YouTube, then I can always go in the future and point back to them and say, see? So that's really another purpose of these videos. The more time that we spend, you would think that, people spending hundreds of millions of dollars to create businesses, oh, back to Google and Facebook, you would think that companies spending millions of dollars creating companies based on the models that we have would be enough for people to wake up and see that this is a huge opportunity for them, but it isn't. People tend to follow the crowd. Most people will not do anything unless the crowd is doing it. Unfortunately, in a business opportunity, that doesn't work. That's when it's too late. So, but again, that's sort of the reason that we're doing this. So in this video, I'm going to cover why the experts know that Bitcoin was created by AI. The experts know, and the experts are not the mainstream media or, tech magazines or tech people, because you know what? The experts don't work for tech magazines and tech websites. The experts do. That's what those are the experts. So unfortunately, people live under this false conception that, if it's in the media, it must be true. And that's served really well for whoever's pushing whatever agenda. That's such a lovely vehicle that they have working for them. So, and I'm going to go through all of that stuff to show you exactly how all of this works. And if you pay attention and you listen, it really can change your future hugely. Just by listening to these videos, paying attention to what they say, it can give you an education you're not going to find anywhere else. So how do the experts know that Bitcoin, for example, was uh, created by artificial intelligence? And when I say artificial intelligence, or when we say artificial intelligence, we're not talking about it did it by itself. That's not necessary. I don't think artificial intelligence has reached that point yet. But I will tell you that the next scheme like Bitcoin, the next thing, whatever replaces this particular scam, is gonna be far, far, far more powerful. And I'll explain to you in later videos what I mean by that. And I'll give you the facts, not conspiracy, but facts, and show that to you. So at this point, artificial intelligence is not capable of, while they want you to believe that, of course, because then you can just blame it on that in the future. Anytime anything goes wrong, oh, if it was some rogue robot did it, some rogue artificial intelligence did it. So we're going to have to scan everyone's computers and monitor it for you so that we can make sure that your computer is not part of a robot artificial intelligence network that's threatening the world, the terrorists of the future. But definitely by artificial intelligence. And why using artificial intelligence? Well, for example, there's only two people in the world that could have created Bitcoin, and not the guy that they claim did it, and they didn't do it. And you can find enough videos on artificial intelligence, the theory, just YouTube, AI created Bitcoin, and there's lots of valid data on that particular thing. But I'm going to address. I'm not going to go into that because videos already exist. What I am going to explain to you is looking at it from a different aspect of why artificial intelligence was involved in creating this. It's a level you can program a AI to look for, monitor these types of things. And Bitcoin is not the first internet scam. Bitcoin is not the first Ponzi scheme. And clearly by looking at Bitcoin, you can see that the data used in the ramp up of that in the years prior to Bitcoin, that the AI, the people who programmed it, learned a lot from that. And that would lead one to believe that perhaps all of those Ponzi schemes were a test. For years, many of us have wondered, how is it exactly that this company made $100 million, $500 million, scammed people out of hundreds of millions of dollars, and the government didn't step in any country, that they still continue to operate using the same basic platform, and that the government has not passed laws to outlaw those things, because there's other people in the world pulling the strings. If I were to guess, since we're talking about money, my guess would be the Khazarian Mafia. And if you don't know who the Khazarian Mafia is, you might want to do some research on that as well. It's outside the realm of this video series. So there's that, and the way that Bitcoin operates takes, like, I could program Bitcoin. I could program Bitcoin. Why? Because I know enough about Ponzi schemes. I've watched them for so long, and I know how to. I mean, it's got everything. It's so freaking perfect. It's so freaking perfect. But I'm kind of an anomaly. Most people, I don't know of anybody else who's monitored Ponzi schemes as long as I have. So, but because I have, and I've analyzed and done, I used to do reports after reports after reports after reports, breaking down year after year, thousands of these things. And so I really, really understand how they operate. So it's basically taken that information and done um, and created this. It's like how Facebook can manipulate your feelings and emotions, how Facebook can manipulate people to think certain things and do certain things. And again, this is not conspiracy theory, it's fact. Um, Facebook has admitted to it. Facebook says, I believe, with 300 likes, they know you better by just having 300 likes on anything. Like, you go through and count up 300 likes, but they know you better than your own spouse. And how do they know you better than your own spouse? It isn't because people can look at those likes and say, oh, I understand them, because that is not within the realm of the human mind, but because they have AI that can do it. So AI monitoring these Ponzi schemes that have gone unchecked over the years until they get just too big. And I think the reason they get too big is the same reason, so they get too big and the government goes in and shuts them down, is because at that point they need to take people into something else. All Ponzi schemes collapse, so that's how they do it. They just go, oh, the government came in and shut it down, and then all the Ponzi pushers go push them onto something else. So it is absolutely a flawless interpretation. It is space age Ponzi at its best. And as I said, I'm going to do videos explaining all of that and showing you the facts. I'm going to put my reputation out there to prove to you. And please criticize me and call me names and do all of that stuff, because it just helps later when I point back to this video and I say, see all the people that said, just like when I predicted the crash of AOL. Most people don't even know that AOL crashed. People think, well, AOL still exists, because most people don't know that AOL was the biggest IP in the United States. The biggest. There was no competition. No competition. You can't even say they were the face, if you say Facebook of social networking, you can't even say they were that. They were far above that. And while they were in that state, I predicted their downfall. And everybody said that I was crazy. Everybody said that I was nuts. I predicted the downfall of all these department stores, and I predicted online shopping, and everyone said that I was nuts. So please tell me that I'm nuts, because it will help in the future when I point back to these videos. So the reason that they know that it was created by artificial intelligence is that, and all artificial intelligence is a program. It's a computer program. That's what artificial intelligence is. if you put it in a robot, it's still just a robot with a program, okay? It isn't a living, breathing thing as they would like you to believe, that has feelings and emotions and would like to one day have a family and blah, 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 blah. All of that other BS, okay? I think, I don't know. So, um, I also believe that Bitcoin is going to be one of the greatest things that have ever happened to in my lifetime, but not for the reasons that you think. And I'll go into that in the next video. So, as I said, this particular video is about why the experts know that that it was created by AI. And as I do the videos, I'm going to actually go into more detail about that. I want to keep these videos short because most people have a very short attention span. And I'm going to teach you about Ponzi schemes. And for those of you that are addicted to them, those of you that are addicted to Bitcoin, I feel sorry, or cryptocurrency, I feel sorry for you. You're not going to like how it ends. Because I've watched it end for many people, and it never ends well. Not even for the people who make lots of money from it. It doesn't end from them well either. Because if you're one of those people that knows how to manipulate them, if you're one of the people that knows how to play in evil, don't forget evil will get on you. You might not lose your money, but there's a lot more things that you can lose that are a lot more valuable than money. And I've watched that time and time again happen over the years. So it's going to be absolutely devastating for the world. It's probably going to make what cryptocurrency does to the world, and this is why I think it's the Khazarian Mafia. And I think the majority of the other ones were as well. Our money systems are monitored to the point that it's not even funny. There is absolutely no way that the governments of the countries where these Ponzi schemes were being operated did not know that they were going on practically from the beginning, because you've got to take that money somewhere. And so, again, throughout history, the only people that seem to be able to get by all of that stuff is the Khazarian Mafia. The only ones who seem to be above the law is the Khazarian Mafia. So that's why I assume, only God knows for sure. And I do want to, state that only God knows the future. I've been very blessed with the ability to predict the future of things. But God does not speak to me. I don't want to claim that he does, and God is the only one who knows the future. So I do want to preface that. But I do absolutely believe enough to come out publicly and put it out in the public forum, so that if it, quote, doesn't happen, then you can criticize me. And we'll also do a video on John Mcafee. And I'm pretty sure in that video I will be very, very, only God knows for sure. God may have different plans for him. But if God doesn't have different plans for him, I can almost spot on tell you what that man's future is going to be in 2 years. So, got a lot of exciting things coming. So stay tuned.